Hey guys, I just come across two different articles from two different newspapers or news outlets that seem to say exactly the same thing. Okay, the Telegraph.co.uk. Parents told not to terrify children over climate change as rising numbers treated for eco-anxiety. That's what we're doing to the kids, guys. Traumatizing them. Rising numbers of children are being treated for eco-anxiety, experts have said, as they warn parents against terrifying their youngsters with talk of climate catastrophe. Protests by groups such as Extinction Rebellion, the recent fires in the Amazon, and apocalyptic warnings by teenage activist Greta Thunberg have prompted a tsunami of young people seeking help. A group of psychologists working with the University of Bath says it is receiving a growing volume of inquiries from teachers, doctors and therapists unable to cope. The Climate Psychology Alliance, CPA, told the Daily Telegraph some children complaining of eco-anxiety have even been given psychiatric drugs. The body is campaigning for anxiety specifically caused by fear for the future of the planet to be recognised as a psychological phenomenon. Yeah, I bet they do. However, they do not want it classed as a mental illness because, unlike standard anxiety, the cause of the worry is rational. Is it? Really? Because the IPCC have just admitted that it's got to do with solar and we're going into solar minimum. How good is propaganda if they can convince you it's getting hotter when it's actually getting colder? Anyway, guys, a lot of people are coming into therapy asking for help with the children, and it has escalated a lot this summer, said Carol Hickman, a teaching fellow at Bath and a CPA executive. The symptoms are the same as clinical anxiety. The feelings are the same, but the cause is different. Oh, dear God. The fear of environmental doom, that we're all going to die. Swedish 16-year-old Greta Thunberg rose to global fame this year as she supported the protest by Extinction Rebellion, which brought parts of central London to a standstill. And look into it, guys, she's paid by George Soros. Globalist elite. Thunberg argues that the EU must cut its carbon emissions by 80% by 2030 to avoid an existential crisis, double the targets set by the Paris Accord. While Extinction Rebellion demands the UK achieve net zero emissions by 2025. The G7 summit in Biarritz last month was also dominated by a row between France and Brazil, between France and Brazil over the Amazon fire after President Macron said the Earth's lungs were burning. Guys, the Amazon is not the Earth's lungs. There are plenty of places all over the world that do that. Miss Hickman said parents should talk to their children about global warming but should not say mankind is doomed. Okay. What are you going to tell them? Parents need to find some words to talk about it that is age appropriate and not terrifying. You need to separate what is fact from what is unknown. And let me tell you, the facts are different from what they're telling you, and what is unknown is a lot. Tell them some species are going extinct and some humans are being harmed, but don't say we're all going to die because it isn't true. See? Let them tell you, guys. What you don't want is that child to collapse into a well of depression saying, what is the point in going to university, or what's the point in doing my exams, which I've heard children say. The CPA recommends a 4-stage approach to explaining responsibly climate change to children without scaring them. Parents should first gradually introduce them to the known facts. And if you're listening to the TV, they're not the known facts. You've got to look at the IPCC reports. themselves. And to get the facts, I believe you have to listen to the opposing side as well. How many detectives do you know listen to one side of anything and just go with that? Are they conspiracy theorists? No, they're just trying to find the facts, and they need as many sides of the story as they can get. And I suggest everybody do the same thing. Listen to the other side. Listen to people who don't believe in it. Why do they not believe in it? Then ask then how they feel before acknowledging that the ultimate outcome is uncertain. Wow. Finally, parents should agree practical steps to make a difference, such as by cutting down on non-recyclable waste and choosing food with a better climate footprint. Oh, here we go. Eco-anxiety is steadily gaining recognition in the academic community. In 2017, a report by the American Psychological Association produced a report recognizing its impact and calling for dedicated research into the mental health consequences of climate change. In one of her last acts as Prime Minister, Theresa May set a legally binding target to cut greenhouse gases to net zero by 2050 in June. And good luck with that. Are you going to stop breathing? Because we breathe out CO2. Because, yeah, that's just, guys, it's just, come on. Now, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to there's a few of them. But they say nearly exactly the same thing, guys. These are different, articles. Where'd it go? No, I don't want to watch that. These are different news organisations, and they say exactly the same thing. Were they given this to publish? Already done for them? Already typed out? Where's the investigative reporting? They've just printed the same thing. They've been given it to print, and they've done that. Someone else has written this, and they've put their names to it and said they've written it. It's exactly the same, guys. All of it. Okay, that's 2 articles. Let's go and see if there's another one that says exactly the same thing. Yep, another one with exactly the same headline. Does it say exactly? Oh, it's a bit different. Our planet's on fire and there's not much we can do about it. Oh, this one. Okay. This one's just full on. Futurism. This is a full on propaganda piece, this one. An increasing number of children in the UK are being treated by healthcare professionals for eco-anxiety, a growing sense of fear over climate change and impending environmental disasters, the Daily Telegraph reports. Disasterscape. Escalating global emissions are likely to cause global food supplies to dwindle and water levels to rise. Luckily, with the aid of climate action groups and activist leaders such as 16-year-old Greta Thunberg, we're becoming increasingly aware of that unsettling future. But that awareness comes with negative consequences, mounting psychological stress on young people. The fear of environmental doom, that we're all going to die. Karen Hickam, executive for the climate, well, they've got the same lady. I think she gave it to them and told them to print this. A lot of parents are coming into therapy asking for help with children, and it has escalated a lot this summer. Climate panic. At least partially to blame, for better or worse, are the increasingly vocal activists rallying for public against climate change. else keep saying we owe it to the young people to give them hope, Thunberg said during a speech at last year's global school strike against climate change. But I don't want your hope. I don't want you to be hopeful. I want you to panic. And she's saying that because she's panicking, guys. This is what it's doing to the kids. And people, they're teaching this in school. So the kids are learning it at school. I've already had to tell my 5-year-old grandson that not to worry. 5 years old. Jesus. We don't yet have exact numbers of how many people feel overwhelmed by eco-anxiety. The phenomenon has also not yet officially been classified as a mental illness, since its cause is rational. Yep, it's the same article, guys. They've changed a couple of words. And they haven't even put the whole article in there. They've just put a little bit of it. Oh, I did it again. Daily Telegraph, News Weekly, Reuters. Guys. Oh my goodness. This is propaganda at its finest, and I will do a video on MK Ultra, but I just come across some on propaganda. And I think I should read that first because that is very, very interesting. They admit they're doing it. And they say it's not that bad. So guys, just watch what you're listening to. As I said, even me. But these are just little things I find in the same article, because it happens in the news here. We've got 4 mainstream news channels, public TV, and they all repeat the same stories nearly word for word. You can go at 4:30 on one channel, 5 o'clock on another, 6 o'clock on another, and you'll just keep hearing the same stories repeated nearly word for word. Maybe one little word here and there changed, but they're exactly the same stories, guys. And it's like this. And I believe they're given the stories to read. They're not investigative journalists. And for you to know what the truth is, you're going to have to look at all sides if you can and work it out yourself, because I believe when you look at all sides, you can work it out. You can work out what's going on. So, yeah, they're traumatizing the kids. And that goes to trauma-based mind control. If you've ever, like I was saying, the MK Ultra, the programming, which goes along with the propaganda. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go, but yeah, I'll be back with some really interesting stuff soon, because I'm coming across a lot of, and these are mainstream. These are all mainstream, and it's telling you exactly what's going on. It's right out there, and people just, I don't know if people know to look or where to look, but anyway, guys, okay, I'm going to go, and I will talk to you soon.